Hello, and welcome to Soroptimist International Voices, where we give a global voice to women and girls. SI Voices is a space where women's stories and issues are heard as we celebrate 100 years of our remarkable organization. We will reveal and rediscover the history of our global movement while educating and informing on many of the key challenges affecting women and girls today. Good morning. I'm Marie Lemonds from Soroptimist International, Newport Harbor area. I live in Tustin, California. And today I'm so happy to introduce my very longtime friend, Kazuko Morita. Hi, Kazuko.
はい、どうもマリー。こんにちは。ソロプチミストの皆様、森田和子です。100周年おめでとうございます。
And I'm going to say, Ohayo gozaimasu. You'll be happy to know that this will be in English because Kazuko's English is much better than my Japanese. So I'm so happy today to introduce our Soroptimist International of the Americas president, Kazuko Morita. We in Soroptimist are divided into geographical areas, sort of, and our federation is called Soroptimist International of the Americas, and we exist in 20 different countries and territories in North America, South America, Japan, Korea, Taiwan, and the Philippines. And we actually have 6 different languages in our federation. So it's really my honor today to have Kazuko, who is our president of this area, to be here and tell us about herself and introduce us to what her focus is with Soroptimist International of the Americas. So before we get started, I actually want you to learn a little bit about Kazuko herself and what brought her to Soroptimist. So would you please tell our audience a little bit about yourself, where you're from, your family, etc.?
Okay, thank you, Don Marie. I'm Soroptimist International of the Americas 2021 to 2022 President Kazuko Morita from Kyoto, Japan. This is a great honor to be here today. I really appreciate you give me such a great opportunities to introduce myself and talk about my passion to our mission and Soroptimist why. I was brought up in Kobe, Japan, and studied pharmacy in Kyoto and married to my husband. He studied medicine, and we spent 3 years. He was worked as a research fellow at the University of Michigan. I myself, with our 2 children, actually daughters, have lived in Ann Arbor, Michigan for 3 years. At that time, the University of Michigan introduced us what they call to the host family system. And we were introduced to wonderful American family with 5 children. We are still keep in touch with this family as if we are almost as like siblings. They included us for all family events, gatherings, and any meetings. Our daughter was just born baby and the other one was 2 years old, but both loved to visit their home as if visiting their grandparents' home. The kindness and hospitality we received from the people we met in the United States became the reason why Soroptimist I am now.
That is so sweet. It just I knew we related to each other, and that's because you're partly American. So I just need to become more Japanese. So you have a lot more story to tell, but we do want to get into your Soroptimist history. And I know that you live in Kyoto now, which is an ancient city that I was so privileged to visit a few years ago and need to go back because it's just lovely and has so much history. Um, but you've been a member now for over 30 years. And how did you get attracted to our organization? What made you want to join and then encourage you to go into leadership?
Yes, thank you, Don Marie. As I mentioned earlier, I think my experience in the United States of America has taught me the spirit of the diversity, equity, inclusiveness, and belongings. When one of the Soroptimist International of Kyoto Club member reached out to recruit me, I thought this is a place for me to support others. I was listening to her stories about our club activities, visions, and missions to support so many underprivileged women and girls who are struggling to make their dreams come true. I realized that this is what I have to be involved. Then my Soroptimist journey has started. It was exactly 36 years ago. I realized that being a member of Soroptimist is truly a given place for me where I can practice diversity, equity, inclusiveness, and belongings, and that it is only possible with collective power that cause significant impact. This is an impact, but one person cannot ever done it alone. Now we are living in Kyoto, the site of 1,000 years old capital used to be in Japan. And I'd like to talk about my leadership position now. It didn't take too long to be appointed as leader in our club and regions for me. As I learned more about the activities, I became more and more fascinated and engaged by the organization and was willing to do whatever I could to help in my capacity.
Yes, that's you know what, Kazuko, that's exactly the truth with Soroptimist, that particularly new, young, eager people come to our organization. And when we're a good club, we make space for leaders. We make space for people to grow. And I think both of us would say we've been so lucky to learn so many leadership skills just being a Soroptimist. So, I know that, as you've already told us, actually, that your passion for this organization really has a lot to do with the work we do for women and girls, and that's been my passion as well. I know you have lots and lots of stories. Would you share a story or two about Sir Optimus' work in Japan that's maybe a very favorite memory for you?
Being so optimist and sharing this with so optimist colleagues help us to understand mutual goodwill. I had great opportunities with several projects related to the United Nations also. Among those, one of my favorite projects was the Grant of Friendship programs we held in Japan Chuo region for SIGB and SIA Desert Coast region. But this was not only for the purpose of exchange our friendships, but by showing the quilt to attract members to support the SI Quadrennial Project 1999 to 2003. And at the time, SIA President Yvonne Machak visited us to support Limbs for Life project, which was a great success with a total donation from members were approximately $60,000. We were so proud of being a part of international project, and we were able to raise so much money to create artificial limbs for landmine victims. Japanese members were so enthusiastic and proud of themselves to support this project by raising so much money to donate. I also would like to take this opportunity to acknowledge the support that optimists around the world showed their full support to our country. When the tsunami hit in 2011, we received so much support from sister optimists around the world. Thank you so much.
Oh, that was such a devastating time, and we have so many Seroptimists that live in Japan. So here you are, our president of our federation. What excites you about what we're doing in our federation, Kazuko?
Our federation took the decision several years ago to focus the work we do for women and girls on two signature programs. Programs we call our dream programs. Live Your Dream program, and Dream It, Be It programs. The Live Your Dream program supports women who is the head of a household with a momentary grant to assist them in pursuit of their education. The program has supported many thousands of women over its long history. The Dream It Be It career support program for girls is a curriculum that has been developed to assist teenage girls learn about career opportunities, strategies for facing obstacles, and work with our Soroptimist members as career mentors. That has empowered over 84,000 girls since 2015. We are so proud of it. Finally, we have just launched a very ambitious goal, which we call the Big Goal. We know that there are over 20 million women and girls living in extreme poverty in the world right now. So optimists have taken the goal to identify and work with at least 500,000 women and girls over the next 10 years through programs directed toward investing in their dreams.
I know you're passionate about our worldwide organization and the power of that group of members from 120 countries and 3,000 communities coming together to really change the lives of women and girls through access to education, providing enabling opportunities, and empowerment. What do you look forward to seeing happen worldwide for Soroptimists in the next 100 years? What will be our worldwide impact?
Well, the world needs optimists to be part of the workforce, joining with others in our communities, regions, and countries, and the world working on behalf of women and girls. We know that this pandemic has taken away some of the hard won gains that women and girls have made in the past 25 years. Now, more than ever, we have to strengthen our work to have a positive impact in areas where women are most affected, such as human rights, environment, economic stability. We use education as our most important tool to ensure that equity is not just a theme, but a reality for the world where women have safety, have a voice, and participate in all of the decisions that affect them.
Well said. That's our work. That's our work worldwide, and, we may be approaching it through the lens of, environmental tragedies that are happening, and we may be approaching it through human rights. If we don't have gender equity, then we don't have a world that really can prosper and thrive. So, Kazuko, I can't believe it. We're almost at the end of this, and the time just seems to pass by like it always does when we talk. What would you like people to remember out of what you've told us about your journey with Seroptimus or about Seroptimus itself?
Well, the most important thing to me is to let our listeners know what a privilege it is to be a Optimist member. The work we do is so important for women and girls. I have met so many wonderful women around the world and really hope that any of our listeners today who aren't members to look into membership, join a club, and join this worldwide movement.
Yes, I couldn't say it better. So, thank you so much, Kazuko, for spending a little bit of time with me today. I just am so happy that you're at the helm of our Soroptimist International of the Americas organization right now, and look forward to sharing and learning and working with you for many years ahead. So, domo arigato.
Thank you so much, Don Marie. This was wonderful opportunity for me to express myself and have a nice, wonderful chat with you, Don Marie. ありがとうございます. Thank you.
Thank you so much today for joining us for this episode of SI Voices. We hope you join us again in the next few weeks. It's been a pleasure to be with you today. You've been listening to SI Voices, a podcast hosted by Soroptimist International. Follow us on social media for our latest news and updates at Soroptimist Global on Facebook and Instagram, and at Soroptitweet on Twitter. You can also check out our website, soroptimistinternational.org. Please join us next time on SI Voices.